Hello and welcome to the Let's Learn project. This is the second part of the lesson on significant figures and decimal places. In this lesson, we'll be taking a look at decimal places within any given decimal number. Now, what does decimal places mean? Decimal places refer to the digits to the right of the decimal point in any given number. When you are given any number and it has decimal places, you will usually see a decimal point. An example is the number 12.389. In the number 12.389, we can see that there are 3 digits to the right hand side of the decimal point. Since there are 3 digits to the right hand side of the decimal point, we say that the number 12.389 has 3 decimal places. The first decimal place in any given decimal number is called the 1/10th place. So, for instance, the number 12.389, the number at the 1/10th place is the number 3. Since we are calling it 1/10th place, it means we can represent it with the number 1/10. That is the fraction 1/10. And we know that the fraction 1/10 in decimal is the same as 0.1. Also, the second decimal place is called the 100th place. In the number 12.389, the number at the 100th place is the digit 8. Similarly, 100th can be written in fraction form as 1/100, and when converting it to decimals, it can be written as 0.01. The third decimal place in any given number is called the 1000th place. The 1000th place in fraction form can be written as 1/1000, and in decimal form can be written as 0.001. The number at the 1000th place in the number 12.389 is the digit 9. And it goes on like that. So the fourth decimal place is called the 10,000th place. So let's consider this number 12.38976. The digit 3 is at the 1/10th place. Since it is the digit with the highest value amongst all the decimal places, we see that that is the first decimal place. So the 1/10th place is the first decimal place because it is the digit or the place with the highest value amongst all the decimal places. The digit 8 is at the 100th place and hence becomes the second decimal place. So it goes on like that. 9 is at the 1000th place, so has the third decimal place. And then 7 is at the 4th decimal place, which is the 10,000th place. 6 is at the 5th decimal place, which is the 100,000th place. So they go in that order. The next one is going to be the 1,000,000th place. So how do we express given numbers or given decimals to specific decimal places? To do that, the first thing that you have to do is to count the number of decimal places that the question requires you to leave your answer to. So if the question requires you to leave your answer to 2 decimal places, you know that you have to count the first 2 decimal places. Remember that the first decimal place that you will consider is a digit at the 1/10th place. Then the second decimal place becomes the digit at the 100th place. When you are done with that, then you would round off the last required decimal place, similar to what we did when we were looking at the significant figures. Rounding off, you know that you consider the digits between 0 to 4 being one group, or the small digits. When the number to the right hand side of the last required decimal place is among 0 to 4, you know that you have to leave the last required decimal place, the number there, you have to leave it as it is. You don't add 1 to it. But if it is part of 5 to 9, then it means you have to add 1 to the digits at the last required decimal place. If there are not enough decimal places to satisfy the required number of decimal places, you would just add zeros. So for instance, in the example that we have on the right, the number 12.389, if the question required you to leave your answer to 4 decimal places, since there are only 3 decimal places in that number, you would have to add 0 after 9, so that your answer becomes 12.3890. So that is, you have left it to 4 decimal places. You were required to leave it up to 5 decimal places. You would have added 2 more zeros after 9, so that your answer becomes 12.38900. Let's take a look at an example. So the question says that write 98,745.9674 correct to 3 decimal places. So the question has specified that we have to leave our answer to 3 decimal places. So remember that we would have to count the number of decimal places starting from the 1/10th place. So we are going to pick 9, 6, and 7. Then we will look at the number to the right hand side of the last required decimal place, which is the number 4. Since 4 is part of the small digits, that is the numbers from 0 to 4, it means we should not add 1 to 7. We have to leave 7 as it is. That means our answer becomes 98,745.967, as we see in the solution here. So this means that we have left our answer to 3 decimal places. Let's look at the II. It says that we should leave it to 2 decimal places. Leaving it to 2 decimal places means we have to count the first 2 decimal places. That is the number 9 and the digit 6. So the number at the 1/10th place and the digit at the 100th place. Those 2 digits are the required decimal places. Then we look to the right of the last required decimal place. The number there is 7. Since 7 is part of the big digits, that is the digits from 5 to 9, we would have to add 1 to the 6. And when we do that, it means our answer is going to be 98,745.97, as we see in the solution here. Now the III says that we should leave our answer to 1 decimal place. The number at the required decimal place is 9. So from 9 we have to look to our right and consider that number. The number to the right of the last required decimal place is 6. So it means since 6 is part of the bit digits, that is the numbers between 5 and 9, we would have to add 1 to the 9. When we add 1 to the 9, it becomes 10. And since we can't write all the 10 at that decimal place, we have to move one step to the left hand side. That is, we move the 1 to the ones place and write the 0 at the 1/10th place. So when we do that, our answer is going to be 98,746.0. So that is the reason why we have 98,746.0 as seen in the solution here. Alright, so thank you very much for watching this video. This was a lesson for JHS 3 or Basic 9. If you want to solve more questions or you want to take a look at more solutions or examples, you can visit our website, theletslearnproject.com. Thank you very much. You can also send us an email to the letslearnproject7@gmail.com or eakonnor@gmail.com. See you in another video. Goodbye.